your grandmother could be stealing the crown jewels. Hey there guys, welcome back today to another video on this channel. In this video, we're going to be going over David Walliams' Gangsta Granny. Nope, do not click off this video. This is not a children's book. It is a very interesting novel which people of all ages can read. So stick around till the end of this video. So in this book, David Walliams has come up with a really hilarious but intensely intriguing story, particularly the fact that it is pretty relatable. And like all of David Walliams' books, it is filled with lots of humor and interesting jokes, so you're not gonna get bored. Before we jump into my personal opinion and my review of this book, let's read the summary at the back of the book. I mean, you all enjoy doing that, right? It's fun to read summaries. Maybe that's just me. Meet Ben's granny. She's very much your textbook granny. She has white hair, she has false teeth, she has tissues tucked up her sleeve, and she's an international jewel thief. Yeah. So this book talks about a young kid, Ben, who doesn't seem to like his grandmother at all. He finds her annoying, boring, and all sorts of things you can think about a person in the most horrible way possible. He thinks that she does not like to have any fun, she's boring, she does not play with him, she doesn't tell him stories anymore. So basically, he thinks he's outgrown her. He thinks that he's grown big enough to not like her, to not talk to her. So every Friday, Ben's parents, who are enthusiastic about dancing, go to watch dance concerts and leave Ben over off at his grandmother's house. And that is 1 week of the day which Ben hates intensely. It is annoying for him because he thinks that his grandmother smells like cabbages. All she wants to do is play Scrabble all day and talks to him as if he were a toddler. So Ben is pretty frustrated, and his parents are having fun watching a dance concert, and he's here getting bored out of his mind eating cabbage soup. So he likes to view his grandmother as someone who is really not interesting. He was really wrong. Turns out a few days later, he goes over to his granny's house and sees someone sneaking out of the house. He follows that person, and that person turns out to be his grandmother, who is stealing jewels from a local jewelry shop. She quickly forces him into the house and tells him not to say a single word, and then explains to him that when she was young, she had stolen a very important jewel from the richest person in her village, and she took it, ran away, and she never felt so enthusiastic in her life. And that's when she decided that being a world-renowned thief is going to be her career of choice. Now Ben was surprised. He never imagined his granny to be anything other than your average granny who is boring and annoying, but here he was listening to her fabulous tales of stealing several awesome riches from across the world. Stealing so many different jewels from across the world was his grandmother's hobby. She shows him her stash of amazing jewels which she has stolen over the years. And then she tells him that there was one thing that she really wanted to steal but never could. And that was the crown jewels. The jewels that are protected in the Tower of London, and they are particularly for the Queen and given the most high secured place in the world. So she said she was unable to steal that, and that's when little Ben decided he was going to take it up to himself to get his grandmother and himself inside the Tower of London and steal the crown jewels. Now, before we move into all of that amazing stuff, let's focus a little bit on Ben's life. Ben loves plumbing. He loves all sorts of pipes and fixtures, and he loves seeing how they all fit together and work to create a fascinating plumbing system. But his parents want him to go into dancing. So just to please them, every evening he tells them that he is practicing for a competition that is coming at the end of the week. And he sneaks out of his house every evening to go plot up with his grandmother. Now what happens is, it takes a sudden turn of events when his grandmother is put into the hospital. She's gonna get fine, that's what she told him, and he goes up to her and tells her fascinating plans, specifying that during the World War there were so many different pipelines underneath the Tower of London, which many people and specialists have not noticed for all these years, and he believed that that was the way to go through. He also told his grandmother that the pipes would no longer be filled with any type of liquid or sewage since they had not been used for years. And he finally figured out near the most secure place in the world. So his grandmother immediately agreed to this plan, saying that it was going to be her biggest heist ever. Now, he turns out to be a little disappointment for his parents. Ben's parents want to see him dance magnificently at the competition that's coming up at the end of the week, because he has been practicing for so long, but turns out he wasn't practicing. He was going to his grandmother's house. And, well, what actually happens is his grandmother had no idea that he was supposed to be practicing, and his parents had no idea that he was going to his grandmother's house. And till the end of the book, they don't realize either of the two, but they come to know that he's not been practicing, and he embarrasses himself and his family right there on stage. It was a really embarrassing experience for his parents, who were incredibly disappointed in him. Now, they drove him home, and he finally made up his mind that he was going to steal the crown jewels. Him and his grandmother go all the way from their home to the Tower of London. Now picture this. You're in your car driving, and you see an old lady, a young boy in scuba gear, driving on an old motorcycle. Do I even need to explain what an expression will be like? Anyway, Ben is incredibly excited for this. So using his plan, they actually managed to get into the crown jewels. Using his plan, they actually managed to cross all of the security measures in the Tower of London and go close enough to the crown jewels. Over there, they meet the Queen. Oh, you're wondering which queen I'm talking about? I'm talking about Queen Elizabeth, who is the current queen living in Buckingham Palace. They meet her in the Tower of London, where she asks them what they are doing near her crown jewels. The grandmother, and this is a spoiler part, the grandmother tells Ben that she had made up the story of being an international jewel thief. She was not going to be an international jewel thief, but she saw that her grandson never enjoyed her company. So she decided to create fabulous stories of being an international jewel thief so that he'd like her. The Queen agrees with Ben's grandmother and says that the younger children of this generation do not have any respect for the elderly. They do not care about how their grandparents live, and they do not try to keep an insight of what their grandparents might really be like. So the Queen lets them go. The Queen lets them leave, and as previously decided, Ben's grandmother told him that he was only going to keep the crown jewels for one day, and after that return them back to the Queen. Now, Ben comes to know that his grandmother is terminally sick, and she was going to pass away really soon. His parents decided that since he had so much love for plumbing, they were not going to force him to get into dancing and do whatever his heart desires. But none of this helped Ben's mood, since he knew that his grandmother was going to pass away. And finally, after Granny passes away, Ben finds his interest in plumbing, and the story ends. So on that note, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, make sure to click the like button, because that's what you do when you liked it. If you didn't like it, feel free to drop a dislike. And while you're here, hit the subscribe button. This time, hit it with a pencil. Can you subscribe to this channel with a pencil? You're gonna find out. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate the support, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. Maze Runner is over, so I don't have to do one of my stupid intros about Maze Runner. Thank you so much for watching this video.